What's up, everybody? Welcome to the reselling live show called the Flipping Live Show. I already screwed up my own intro. The #1 daytime live show. We're like a soap opera. We never get old. They'll be running for 50 years and they all still look the same. Today's guest is the Wolf of Wall Street.
Show goes on! This is my home!
Mr. Dana Invest.
This is my home.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, and you? I'm
Doing
just
well,
excited
doing
to
well.
be here.
If you are catching this on the replay, thank you. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. You always got to talk to them first, I've learned. The live crowd can wait. You got to talk to the people that are late to the party first. So, guys, we got Dana from Dana Invest. Make sure you go and check out all of his stuff on Instagram, YouTube. The name's the same everywhere you go. How's it going, man?
I'm awesome. What's up, Greg? We got Renzi in there, Marcus, Joe.
Look at that. You're already saying hi to people before me.
Hi to everybody.
Dang. Setting all that up must have taken hours. Yes.
For him, I just found about it like 10 seconds ago.
Yes, my intros always take a long time. Pound there's some talent on this show. I think we have a growing
This guy?
we're working on trying to figure out how to block Paul from all lives. Not just mine, like every reseller. We're just going to do like this whole he's going to have to create a whole new brand, channel, everything.
I think YouTube would die live-wise without Paul on there. He
Oh,
has
for
the most
sure.
live hours of everybody.
Yeah, especially the 24-hour thing where it's like, "Hey, come watch a Viking for 24 hours."
Yeah, it's crazy.
We got pancake wheelchair. That's what I call Greg because he always throws out that emoji. So, it's waffle today. Waffle wheelchair. I usually call him pancake wheelchair.
Is there a pancake emoji?
I think so. Paul, you have it. Paul has 8 channels, and instead of concentrating on having one blow up, he's going to have 8 mediocre ones. I'm just kidding. It's kind of like how I switched. I took a step back when it came to reselling. Instead of having multiple platforms that I'm spreading all my junk on, I concentrating on being amazing at one of them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I do a lot of different platforms, but eBay is like 99% of my sales, maybe like 95. Maybe I'm going a little too much, but sometimes you wonder if it's worth if it's worth the hassle for the couple grand a year on Mercari and Facebook and all that.
Yeah. So what we realized, and I was talking about this on Hammocks Live with Ryan and Lindsay, is for the amount of work we were putting into Poshmark with the paying the cross listing, or even before when we were doing it ourselves, and then having to constantly like, "Oh, I like your photo. Like, here, share my photo." I wasn't making enough to where I felt like it was worth it. All I ever wanted to do is like my alarm would go off for share time, and I'd just like, "Oh God, this sucks." So
Yeah, I hate Poshmark.
yeah, so I get it. I like the buyer protection on Poshmark and Mercari. It's way better than eBay. For eBay being like the big beast, it has so many things that need to improve that these smaller, and I say smaller like Posh isn't huge, but these smaller reselling platforms like picked up on very quickly.
Thanks, Stacy.
But guys, yeah, part of the reason that I have Dana on and why we bring on different guests is like last week we had somebody that was strictly FBA. Dana, for the most part, is the death buyer. Like he goes to estate sales. Like I see you are able to hit up more estate sales than anybody else that I know that even dabbles in estate sales. So I feel like you live in the middle of just like, I want to say Death Valley of just all the retirement centers or all these estate sales, but you crush it, man.
Yeah. So I want to say this in a bad way, but old people come to Arizona to die. I don't know if you've ever heard of snowbirds, or if they really have those in Houston. But anyways, people fly here and they have houses in Arizona, specifically in a Sun City area is what it's called. And it's like 20 miles by 20 miles or whatever. And you have to be 55 or older to live there. And so they go live somewhere cooler when it's 115, 120 degrees here. And then they come back when it's like, 60 to 80 or whatever. And then when they die, they just sell off all the stuff. So there's constantly I think if there was more estate sale companies, there would be more estate sales on a specific day. Because to be honest, half the time, that's the only reason there's not more is there's nobody to run them. So I love them. I hit 3 this morning, and 2 Home Depots before this show, and it's 10 a.m. here in Arizona.
Do you ever take flowers or cookies or condolence cards or anything, or is that too much?
No. So 1 out of maybe 100, a family member is there. The rest of the time, it's just run by an estate sale company. So the company, they don't care. They're just there to make money. And so their contracts generally are no discounts day 1, unless you really know the people. I've got a few that'll do it for me. Day 2 is normally 25% off. Day 3 is half price. And at the last hour, they'll basically give stuff away, if you want it. So you got to figure out how to get in there and do that. But yeah, there's no shame in it. They want to sell it as quick as they can so they don't have to deal with it. Because if it's there at the end of the estate sale, they have to throw it away or take it to a Goodwill.
Yes, that's my only dabbling with an estate sale. Was we actually have a buddy that runs estate sales here, and if it's shoe related, he'll of course message us, or sometimes if it's vintage, and be like, hey, we're going to be running this if you want to come like a day early and look around. But Jesus,
I don't know if you can see that. That's all the estate sales that are running today within like a 30-minute drive of me.
And that's an app or something, I'm assuming?
Yeah, estatesales.net.
Okay, well, there you go.
Estate sales app.
Estate sales net. G. Jazzo says lives in Arizona, never bumped into him. So that's probably because he is up early and hitting all of them. But yeah, we had we've gone to one, but that's exactly what you just said is how it happened. So the estate sale went through the weekend, and then on Monday he called us and was like, hey man, the dump's going to be here at 5:00. Anything you want to come get, it's before it goes to the dump, you can take. And we filled 2 carloads, and this is back when we were just like heavy into just anything we could make a buck on. But it's crazy, like legit, they just throw it away. They don't.
Yeah.
And that's all the time. No, I'm just kidding.
Close. I'm not leaving. I was going to show you what I got today at the.
I thought Uber Eats just brought you a bag of snacks.
So I got a sealed Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Sealed VHS right now is just so big. Like I see so many people making a ton of money off of it.
Yeah, it's crazy hot. I sold a sealed Indiana Jones this morning. I paid a quarter for $30. So this probably isn't worth anything, but sealed Dances with the Wolves. It had $6 on here, but I paid 50 cents.
Well, it's an amazing movie, so it is worth something.
And Melanie's Mall, which might be silly, but it was, where are we at? $3? This sells for $50 on eBay.
Nice.
So that wasn't my big hits, but that's all I found this morning. I was actually just going to pick up. I bought some stuff at Home Depot and in that area. So I went and picked that stuff up, and then I went to another one to grab some more, and then hit those on the way before I had to get back for this. So,
well, it's you posted something yesterday. I want to say it was last night about kind of like you get something that only has one sold on it, so you can control the market. You priced yours like $30 higher, and it's sold. You took an offer, but still your offer that you took was $30 higher than the last sold. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how that works and why it's important to not just, if there's only one sold, base your pricing off of that, because a lot of people don't understand that they control the market at that point.
Right. So what I did on that one is I got that for free from an estate sale, basically, when I did a big bundle of stuff. And when I went to list it, I didn't even know if it was worth anything. When I went to list it, I checked eBay and Amazon for the prices. eBay had the one sold for $25 plus shipping. Amazon had 0 listings for it. And so I said, well, I'm the only person in the world right now, at least that sells on these 2 platforms, that has this book. So there's no reason to set it low. I'm going to shoot for the moon. And I priced it at $59.99 or $69.99. I think it was $69.99. Yep. And it sat for less than a week before I got an offer of $50. I countered at $59.99, and they countered at $55, and I took it. So the last one was $25. I got $55, more than 100% higher. So if you have something like that, there's demand because one sold.
Yep.
And there's no supply. So I don't know if it was hot enough to do an auction or anything. Probably not, but definitely on those ones, you can set your price wherever you want it. Worst case, you drop it down a little bit or redo the listing, but setting the market is awesome when you're the only seller available.
For sure. And I see the reason I wanted to bring it up, I made a note to bring that up, is because I see some people sometimes they'll post videos or they'll do an Instagram story while they're in the thrift, and they'll find something and they're like, oh, well, there's only one sold, so I'm going to leave it behind. And I'm like, that means you can control the market.
Yep. I sold an item yesterday. There were 0 sales. There was only 1 active. And but mine had more accessories than that one. So I was like, I'm going to throw it up at $20 more than theirs because mine has more accessories, and it sold in like 6 hours.
Yeah,
So,
that's another thing I've noticed has increased since I started a few years back selling like VCRs and electronics and now every electronic that I see that somebody's trying to sell, especially on eBay, they're including a little thing like the 3-color cord. They'll include that in the photo, or hey, we'll also give you a blank VHS. Like it's not just the VCR anymore like it was when I was selling.
yeah.
So I think adding
always
accessories to something like it builds the value, and I was like, oh, well, I can just buy everything from this person right now.
Yeah, look how sexy that is. Ain't that a sexy picture? All that extra stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a good price too.
Yeah, $100 plus shipping.
Joe Jeffy said he sold Scream sealed for $60 in 5 minutes. Yeah, sealed VHS right now. I'm also noticing an uptick in CDs. Like CDs are coming back into where people. It has to be usually in lots, but you can get a good amount of money if you have genre lots right now, which I think is a weird. As somebody that collects cassette tapes, because that was more my era, and of course vinyl. But I have tons of CDs, but I just never thought about organizing them into genres and selling. But there's a good market for that right now, and you can get CDs cheap.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are $1
crazy.
million calls that he is ignoring to be on this live show, folks.
Yeah.
Those are $1 million deals that he is ignoring.
That's my health insurance broker. I'm setting up the new health insurance for next year.
Awesome.
Since you're self-employed and you have to do that.
Yes. Selling vintage die-cast trucks. Yeah, I can believe that. I've noticed older toys actually sell a lot faster and for more money than these crappy, horribly built new toys.
I've got a whole case of Hot Wheels, vintage red line Hot Wheels that I haven't even gotten to yet.
Nice. I was about to say, what is your what's your death pile? Like how many items would you say you have?
100 plus, at least. Probably more.
Wow. So if the country shuts down again, you're good to go.
I don't want to say it's too crazy, because when I say so many, like it'll be more or less, I don't know how the best way to say it. Like I've got 30 of them Hot Wheels. I've got 2 tubs of Commodore 64 computer equipment. I've got some bread makers. I've got a few random things, and I've got like 400 stamps that I need to list. Outside of that, I've actually burned through most of my death pile. So it's a lot of little stuff that like goes together.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's not too crazy. Like yesterday, I caught up on a whole bunch. I listed a bunch of shirts that I wasn't wanting to list, and they had just been sitting there. And I finally was like, all right, I'm going to list these just to make sure I get something up. And I try not to have too big a death pile. I had a really big one. I took a week off of YouTube. And I put up like maybe 1 or 2 random, like really short, crappy videos that I had saved, and I put those up so I could focus on just listing all week, and got most of that up.
What I was going to ask this question too, so let me get back to here because I got to get my compliments when I can. Yeah, this is a green screen. This is all fake. None of this is real. No, these shelves are a blessing and a curse. So I love them because it looks nice, but they've collapsed multiple times. I have them zip tied. I have them anchored to the wall. I'm not a fan of these, but I don't want to go to totes because this is easier for me to find when they sell. I just pull them. And then the ones in the garage are in boxes. So I just look for the picture on the little box. So if you're into shoes, be careful when you get these racks because they do not last very long. And then I saw Rinzi now asked, what's your storage strategy with so many different categories? That's another reason why we niche down into just doing a few things here and there. We have like 3 tubs dedicated to small electronics, plush, knickknack stuff, but
Right.
the storage was too much for me. Like, how do you do it?
So I've got this office, and I display some of the stuff over here just for fun. Underneath those, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, there's like bins, shelf. Maybe this one will pull out. So there's drawers, and I keep my smalls in here. I've got on the wall over here 2 racks that I fill with like more expensive breakable things like that. And then in the garage, I've got about 10 shelving units, five shelf high storage units. And I've got like DVD VCRs on one. And then the rest I have clear totes. So everything else is in a clear tote. So I can like look in the tote without even opening it and see what's in there. I have a pretty dang good memory. So like I can remember what tote that thing is in. I do not use custom SKUs or anything. And I've got 1,240 something listings right now. And I could go to most things within 10 seconds of getting like right in front of it of where, okay, I remember that's in that. I do need to organize it more because I do have like shoes on this side and then shoes on one over here and shoes on one around the side. So at some point I am going to put those sorts, a whole shoe shelf in the bins or whatever. But I do the electronics that way. And then I do my smalls that way, breakables, that kind of stuff.
No custom SKUs. That's crazy.
Yeah, no
I have a pretty decent memory, but I know if I can't find something or if it's not in the SKU, like the bin for like jeans, it's pretty simple. We have like 4 for men's, 4 for women's.
Yeah.
I lose my mind because I don't want to go through all the bins. At that point, I'm just like, I don't want to find these. I'd rather cancel the order than have to stay out here.
Right. Yeah. And especially like in Arizona here, it's like 115 in the garage. And
I know that's why when you said that old people go to Arizona to die, that's why there's so many estate sales. I'm like, it's like 115 there in the scenery. I mean, I guess if you're into like the that kind of scenery, it's great, but it's like literally going there to die would be getting off the plane and being like,
yeah. I met a guy the other week who flew here. He moved here from Oregon without ever visiting. And I met him at an estate sale, and he said, I've got all kinds of vintage cameras and vintage electronics and sealed VHS and all that stuff. And I was like, heck yeah, let's go do it. And he's like, yeah, because I don't know if I'm going to move it back, but I can't stay here. It's way too hot. And I'm like,
that's the thing. Like, I think you have to visit.
It's not even
somewhere.
the bad time right now. The bad
you have
time was just past.
Yeah, if you're going to move somewhere like that, you have to visit. You got to learn the climate, see if you can handle it. Like, I enjoy going on vacation to Florida, but anywhere in those like Everglades swamp areas, like I already sweat enough. I don't want to literally walk out my door every day and just be like, oh, I need to carry an extra shirt with me, which I already do.
Yeah. So I got my my good memory. I don't know where I got it, but I honed it through all those years in retail. Like if you've ever, I used to be a manager for a Home Depot, and you basically had to know where everything was. So there's 300,000 items in the store, and you have to know off the top of your head where exactly that item is. And if it's not on the shelf, where was it up on the top stock? And yeah, believe it or not, I could remember like the stock number, what the stock number was, what aisle it was on, what shelf it was on. Yeah, way too many years of that.
That's probably why it was why it's been good for you to also dabble in well, I'll say dabble. I'm sure you've been doing it for a long time, like investing in stocks and Forex and all that stuff, because a lot of that just comes down to learning systems and keeping up with tracking things like that and having a good memory. Right. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I obviously want to touch on that because I introduced you as the Wolf of Wall Street. So the last part of your name, for anybody that doesn't know, invests. You wanted to start your channel about investing and then kind of went into more of the reselling, but now you are doing some stuff where you have a specific series where you're buying and selling items and using that money to purchase stocks and investing and showing people how to grow other than just making profits from reselling. Right. So what, for somebody just that isn't a reseller, self-employed, doesn't have a 401k that somebody contributes to, where do they go? What's square one? So
open a brokerage account wherever you decide to open that brokerage account. I have links in my thing for Webull. Like here's one. $436 up. This is that thrift to retire series that Chris was talking about. I spent $180 on inventory, and now I've got $1,066 in that account.
Awesome.
And it's up 400. What was that? 400.
And that hasn't even been that long.
$436, and that's the gain, not money that I've put into it, but that's the profit gain. So that's Webull. And if you open an account through my sponsored link in the description of my videos, you get 4 free shares right now. And if 3 of you do it, I get a free share of Apple, which is pretty freaking awesome.
Oh, that's crazy.
But wherever you want to go, I do most of my personal trading through TD Ameritrade or Thinkorswim. But I've got an account at Schwab and another one at Robinhood. So open an account and just put some money in it and put a little bit in every single week, and then buy something safe. So that could be Apple. You could buy eBay if you wanted. You could buy Poshmark if you wanted. You could buy Domino's Pizza, has been a freaking amazing stock. Whatever. You could buy a mutual fund like VTI is one of my favorites. VOO is another really good one. Those just track the market. So if you're worried about, well, I don't want to pick a company, just start in, because so like that right there, I took $180 of my money, sent it back out, got the money back, and now put it in and have $436 in gains and $1,066 in that account from basically doing nothing. I bought the stock and I'm not trading it. I just let it ride.
Just sit on it.
So that's the trick for most people, is they get worried if the stock drops 10% or something like that. If you're worried about it dropping 10%, you shouldn't be investing because you're not ready for it. You got to understand that when it drops 10%, that should be discount day and go buy another share.
Exactly.
Because now you lowered your cost basis. There's something called dollar cost averaging. So if you buy $50 of whatever share or stock, whatever, every single week for 2 years, some you bought at $20, some you bought at $60, your cost average is going to be like $30, and you have more to lose or gain as it goes. But just put in a little bit. Don't be afraid. Don't trade, because trading is dangerous.
Yes.
And just invest it. Let it ride.
That's kind of how I try to. I mean, I know very little. I literally treat it like a Ronco. I set it and forget it. Like I have certain things like VTI, like VOO. I call it VOO, VOO. That's the REIT one, right?
No, it's
V. Is it VY? There's one that's
is a realty one, which is really good.
Yeah, that's the one. So I have that one. I have VTI, and then through Fidelity, I have like their FXAIX, which is also just an index fund. That's the word, guys. Look for an index fund, because that way it's like tracking the S&P, and if it's 10 good stocks and one stock does bad and the rest do great, it's still going to be a positive.
Right.
But yeah, I just set it and forget it. I have it on weekly. It just automatically pulls. So eBay payout is on Tuesdays. On Wednesday, it's an automatic pull directly to our investments. And that way I don't even look at it. But the only time I kind of track it is if I notice that the market's going down, I'll jump in and buy a little extra, like you said.
So I would say the Bored Ape Yacht Club, I am not investing anything in NFTs right now. I see the one below that, no BitConnect. I do have Bitcoin, Ethereum. I do have Cardano, some of those other silly things, but
yeah, I have.
I'm not an NFT person.
Yeah, I don't. So the way I try to gauge my life is if I don't understand it, I ignore it. And I don't understand NFTs. I saw somebody post a picture of like I'm assuming this is it. It was like a gorilla or a chimpanzee or an ape or something. And they're like, this cost me $258,000 or something. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. So it's basically you own the exclusive rights to that digital contract that holds the picture of the ape or a shark or whatever. I'm in some different investing groups. Like there was one last week, there was a guy who held, it was a picture of a shark. And it went from 0.06 ETH to 0.6 ETH in 10 days, and he sold it, which is ridiculous. 0.06 ETH to 0.6 ETH is like $1,000 gain in a week for somebody buying the rights to own a digital picture of a shark.
Yeah, see, I don't. It's so far over my head.
I get it, but I don't believe in it. So I'm afraid that at some point it's gonna, like, somebody's gonna pull the rug, and those are just
like I don't understand that, and I'm assuming this is probably the same thing, and I just don't understand it. But like Reezy resells. You can buy like Reezy whatever. Like I'm assuming that's an NFT as well, or
Oh yeah, he's doing that with Gary V,
yeah.
the V
Yeah, you guys
friend.
get car horns on other live shows? Only on this one. Last week we had a landscaper.
Yep.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Everyone always brings up Enron here in Houston, especially. Enron, bad, but Enron merch, like if you can find in the bins or at a Goodwill like an Astros / Enron, because it used to be Enron Field, all that stuff is worth so much money. Like the Enron bobbleheads or any of that stuff.
Right.
I do think that that crypto is going to be, 20 years from now is going to be insane and it's going to be like the norm. But I tread very lightly in that because I don't fully understand it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I told you before. If not, so what's going on, Dante? I bought Bitcoin when it was 2,500 was the price that I bought in at, and I bought 3 Bitcoin, and it went up to whatever $60,000, and I sold on the way. I didn't sell it all the way at the top. I sold one at 20,000, and I sold one at like 30,000. And then I let the other one, it's just going to ride forever. So it's free money at this point. I can't lose anything. And I basically have the thought process of it goes to $1 million or it can go to 0. And I'm fine with it either way. But I don't, like, it's sitting in a cold storage wallet. I've got a Trezor that's sitting on, and it's just going to sit in my safe till it's $1 million, hopefully.
That's insane. Yeah, see, that's the other thing I don't understand, like having to have a wallet or any of all. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like when people are like, "Oh, well, I bought this thing, so it's mining Bitcoin while I sleep, and I'm earning 0.0002," and I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I sell shoes.
I do another silly one. It's not much on it, but I've got like on PayPal. Every time I sell something through Facebook Marketplace, they send you your payment via PayPal. So almost everything I sell through there, I just put back in to PayPal crypto. So like that's
nice.
my Facebook Marketplace sales, and that's like $300 or $400, and it's up to 500. So it's nothing crazy on that one, but it's just ways. So like if you didn't want to have a wallet or anything, you just buy it with your balance in PayPal and let it ride in there, and you don't own the Bitcoin or anything. You just basically own the rights to it because PayPal doesn't really. I don't know the best way to say that. You don't really own it because if you don't have the keys, you don't own the coin. But you can buy and sell it as a trade if you wanted to do that.
Okay. Well, I got to stop. So we got hey Dante saying hey Dana. We got Dante saying hey Keith. We got Dante saying hey Greg. Am I invisible?
What's that, Dante? It's Chris's show. Show some love.
I get no respect. Yeah, see, like everything you just said about crypto and Bitcoin especially, I literally don't understand. That's why, again, same thing with certain stocks and like options. I've talked to you before. Like I'm approved for options, but I don't understand what the hell it means. If you don't know it, I stay away from it because it seems too much. I was wondering if maybe that's what was happening. I was hoping.
Just trying to rile your nerves.
Yeah, it was bugging me. I couldn't even focus. I was just looking at the chat like this mother.
Yeah, so I tell everybody that when we ever talk about investing, no investment advice here. I'm not a certified professional, whatever. But yeah, stay away from stuff you don't understand because you can get in trouble fast if you trade the stuff that you're not familiar with. Especially, like I said, if you trade, because like I said, I took most of last year off and traded more than reselling, and had awesome days and horrible days, and it was net not worth my time. So investing is way better.
We do them every Thursday at noon. We're trying to dominate the daytime reselling live market. We are the days of our lives reselling.
We got 20 people watching and only 8 gave thumbs up.
Jesus.
Am I that bad?
No, it's probably because I never asked for people to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
I never do any of that. Doge, I have Doge still. I sold most of my Doge right around 65 cents, and I sold a lot of it right at 71 because I got freaked out because I was like, it's gonna crash. But it was only money that I was completely comfortable losing. Did I invest in Doge?
Yep. You just have to refresh. We're up to 12 now on this screen.
I think that was it Elon Musk or somebody just like did another thing with Doge, like talking about how they need he's helping them update something. But I really don't see that actually being a full-fledged crypto in the future.
Never.
I think
the creator of it admitted, like he said before, it was a joke. Like he built it as a joke to say you can do this with anything, and then it started freaking skyrocketing, and he was like, "Oh, well,
I'm going to buy a new Honda.
Take advantage of this."
Yeah, I think it's just one of those jokes that got taken too far, and then just like GameStop and all that, like the small majority just like built it up and then crashed it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something that is sustainable, and I also don't think it's something that that big business is going to allow the little man to keep riding that wave.
Yep. What's going on, Eric?
There we go, Eric.
Reacted. We got 15 thumbs up, and somebody gave me a thumbs down.
Yes, that was me. No, I'm just kidding.
Mark Cuban.
Sometimes I get. I just want to track my YouTube, so I'll give myself a thumbs down just to see if it affects like the views or the.
Hey, they say just a reaction in general doesn't matter. You could have 10,000 negatives, 10,000 thumbs downs, and 1 thumbs up, and your video will be showed to everybody because it creates a response.
Hopefully, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm just like, I don't care. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And I try to comment instead of just like hitting thumbs up if somebody replies. I try to comment. That way there's like a back and forth dialogue. Eric, hopefully you got that explosive diarrhea and you can hang out for a little bit. If you guys aren't aware, like I said, we dominate Thursdays. And by we, I also, Eric, Red Mountain Resell, he does his lives on Thursday nights. I think it's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight.
7 Eastern.
Tonight, it's going to be 6 p.m. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about my time. It's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, but it's going to have you, me, and Marcus over at Dixon's Pistons. We are going to be the 4 horses of the reselling apocalypse. We're going to talk about everything we've been doing for the last few months.
Look at that focus,
awesome
anyway.
Look at that awesome blurry thumbnail, y'all. Mark Cuban letting you pay at the arena. Yeah, I think it's a smart move. You used to be able to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, but he cut that out once it dropped a lot.
Yeah, I think Tesla's trying to get Elon a little bit separated from the company because he would make Amazon. That stock just freaking go up and down based off everything he said.
Yeah, isn't it crazy how like one person like that can control everything?
Yeah.
Like the same thing, like that's the whole reason, like if you don't know, like Jeff Bezos stepping down as the CEO of Amazon, it's so he can concentrate more on the space stuff.
Right.
They're like, hey, look, you're rich, then you don't need any more money. Go play around in space and let us know what's happening. I'm actually, space is great. I don't understand it. I don't like Star Wars, whatever. I'm never leaving Earth. You're going to have to, this is my house. You can send my kids to another planet, but I'm not leaving Earth. What's his name? Richard Branson with the magnetic loop tunnels that they just tested. I think that is awesome. Like, it's like a hoverboard, but you sit in it and just like a gerbil tube. They're saying 25 minutes from Houston to Dallas. I mean, that's why anybody would want to go to Dallas. I don't know, but
that's like Tesla has tunnels underneath Las Vegas, so you can bypass all the strip and just take a Tesla from one end of the strip to the other underneath it.
Wait, is that real already?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it's open to the public, but it's real. They've done it. They've tested it.
I'll be on YouTube after this, just watching that. That stuff fascinates me because I've always thought like, why are we so slow on the ground? Like, I don't understand.
If you look up there's a Cybertruck one too, where Jay Leno did a test drive of the Cybertruck with Elon Musk, and they went down into the tunnel and just bypassed everything.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's my thing is like flying. Some people are scared of flying, blah, blah, blah. But I just like trains. I just like, man, wouldn't it be cool to jump on a train in Houston and be like, hey, I'm going to Vegas and it not take, 7 days. Like a speed train or something, or even like the loop tunnels or something. I think there's something, we're missing something.
Yeah, they have those whatever bullet trains in Japan where they go like 300 miles an hour. And
yeah, I mean my theory on a train going that fast is like, if it derails, it's not going to matter to me.
Yeah,
I'm going to be dead just as fast as a plane crash. It's not like, it's not going to be that bad. So I'll take my chances, but scenically, I think it's awesome just to chill and have someone else do all that. That's the only reason I'm interested in a Tesla. It's like, wait, I can just sit behind the wheel, put in where it needs to go, and it does all the work. I can just list while driving. Not that I don't do that already. No.
Yeah, I'm like, I could be down with it. We'll see what this Cybertruck really looks like when it comes out.
Yeah, that one that they did where they broke the windows when they weren't supposed to, that thing looks so ugly.
Yeah.
It looks like something one of my kids would have drawn.
Yeah, it's nuts, but they're super friggin' popular.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's usually how things are. If it's, just like Slayer shirts. Kanye West wore one like 5 years ago that had like holes and the collar was all ripped. And then all of a sudden, Slayer shirts were like $250 to $1,000. And it's like, wait, what? I have a closet full of these.
Yeah, Kylie Jenner was wearing freaking Slayer shirts and Metallica, and in Target, and they've got like the
reprints,
Damage Incorporated Metallica shirts over there, and I'm like,
It's always fun to me to see people spending what I consider a crazy amount of money on clothes that have already been distressed by the manufacturer, like a Slayer shirt that they've already cut holes in and it's faded, and it's like, wait, all you got to do is wear that shirt for the next 10 years and it'll look like that.
Yeah. I'm like, these are like $20-$30 Hot Topic specials.
Yeah, and if you're buying a shirt,
$400 or $500 year shirt,
and if you're buying a shirt that already looks that ratty, it's not going to make it the 10 years to look how it should.
Right.
KTX, I'm assuming that's that fast track. I have no idea.
Flippy 175.
See, that stuff sounds awesome to me. I don't know. We don't have any of that. I mean, I could go hop on a train here, but it's literally going to go like 2 miles and then stop at the shipyard. And then I'll be like, well, now what do? I'm stuck in Baytown.
Mm-hmm. I was going to make a joke about you hopping the border train, but
yeah, that's like 7 hours south. And I'm too scared to go there. We used to play in Laredo, like Nuevo Laredo all the time, Brownsville, right there by the border. But one of the last times we went there, we're like standing outside the club and all you hear across is just like, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, never again.
Yep, not my jam.
Yeah, because we used to be able to walk across the bridge, go into Nuevo Laredo and buy like bootleg Metallica shirts and stuff like that for like $3 and then bring them back. I have all kinds of bootleg like shirts. I just can't sell them, but it's just cool to have. Like, hey, Metallica
did that in Tijuana.
Yo,
in years.
Usually people that go to Tijuana come back with something that they didn't know they had.
Yeah, that's just what's close to Phoenix.
Oh yeah, true. What is your? I know you said eBay. You also do Amazon though, right?
Yep.
Is it merchant fulfill or do you send stuff in?
Both. So I have, if it's like just a normal product, I send it to FBA and let them deal with it. If it's more of like a hot product, like it's selling immediately, I'm going to FBM so I can take advantage of it. Because FBM sometimes, or FBA, if I send it to them, they've got to wait to check it in. And then sometimes they disperse it to different warehouses. So if I send in 5 of this item, they're going to send 1 to here and 1 to here and 1 to here and 1 to here. And you've got to wait till they get to that next destination. And then they get checked in and then they come available for sale. And if they're not hot anymore, then you can lose money. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like yesterday, whatever, I sold like $250 of a toy that I got at Target, and they were all FBM, and I was getting like $10 more for them on Amazon than I could get on eBay. So as soon as I would find one in the store, I would just list it immediately, and they were selling like hotcakes. So if I would send that into FBM or to FBA, the craze would probably be over, because it's related to a TikTok video. And so everybody's hot on it right now. And you know how TikTok is, that stuff can be dead in a day. So I was like, I'm just going to take advantage of it and go hit as many targets as I can and sell that stuff. But
genius.
That's how I'll change that.
Yeah, that's still one of the things. So like, I think Ty had mentioned when he was on with when Harry Tornado was on their show, eBay to Amazon, the percentage of market value the difference is so crazy. Like a VCR will be $60 on eBay, but it's selling for $220 on Amazon. But you have to be ungated. And I wanted to, but other than like, if I can remember when I used to sell electronics on Amazon, like Sharp, Sony, Magnavox, all of those, we were automatically ungated right out of opening our account. It was the other brands that you can, like Sanyo and stuff like that, you had to get ungated.
Yeah, Sony's a gated one, like it's gated for me. So I get drop shipped a lot, where people will buy big electronics for me and say, this is a gift, do not include a packing slip. And that's exactly what they're doing, is they're ungated on Amazon. Yeah. And so they sell it there for 20, 50, 100, whoever knows how much more. And I'm totally fine with it. I get the max that I can get out of it, and they get to make their little cut. Totally fine with that.
Yeah, well, he had mentioned that it's one of the easiest ways to resell without actually having to go to a store and do any of that. So I was like, man, this would be a great video series or idea if I was just like, hey, for the next 30 days, on top of what we're already doing, I'm going to specifically try and buy items off eBay and flip them on Amazon for a profit and just kind of see. But then I'd have to like get my account back in order and all that crap. But I think, from what he was saying, he did that and built, made $1 million in a year, literally just buying off eBay and putting it on his Amazon store, because the margins are so crazy. I think anybody that's getting into reselling or likes the online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, which isn't really my thing, that just sounds like a no-brainer, especially with electronics.
Yeah, trick is if you get any problems, your account can get suspended really fast. So I wouldn't mess with some of that. But I have seen, I'll tell you a silly one. Everybody knows American Bubble Boy, right?
Yes.
There is a guy that I was looking at on Facebook Marketplace that is selling American Bubble Boy bubble wrap for $50 and has sold like 722 of them. Like it says on there, has sold like 722. And I'm like, they're $35 on American Bubble Boy. He's just getting your information for the $50 and drop shipping you American Bubble Boy stuff. I'm like, that's pretty sharp. And I was looking at it because I was like, well, hell, I'm going to do that. And it's like $5 per thing. And I was like, it's not worth it for me. But 722 times $5 is a lot of freaking money.
I used to do that. I used to do that on eBay with Walmart exclusive stuff. I would just copy the listing from Walmart, throw it on eBay, and when it's sold, I just go to Walmart and buy it. But then you run into that thing of, oh, shit, Walmart doesn't have any. Now I got to cancel this order.
Yeah, it's a crazy, it'll be a free reseller tip for some of you guys. Don't compete with me. But when there's exciting exclusive stuff, like potentially, depending on what it is, like a Hot Topic exclusive Funko Pop or something like that, or even Walmart or Target or whatever, we'll just use Funkos for the whole example. They don't ship those overseas. So if you take your listing and you're the first one or the only one who has GSP turned on to ship overseas, you'll sell a lot of them. Last year I sold a whole bunch of Beetlejuice stuff that was Hot Topic exclusive. People wanted it overseas, and the only person they could get it from was me. So awesome. And then you take your hot cash and you go back and you buy more stuff for free, and it's like a cycle. But
that's so I feel like I'm too old and I have too many kids to collect toys, but I still do it. So the way that I talk myself into being okay with it is like if a Walmart or a Target or a Hot Topic Pop exclusive comes out, I'll buy 2 and I'll sell 1 to cover the cost. That way it's free. That way I didn't waste any money on it.
Right.
But yeah, the exclusives always seem to sell. And it is funny because usually it's through the global shipping program. I just never look at it. I just see your item sold, it's going to Kentucky, and I don't think about it. But yeah, it's usually global shipping. So that makes sense. I have a buddy that does vintage, but he only sells to a Thailand buyer that buys in bulk, or to the Philippines, one of those two. So American culture and vintage over there is he makes a lot of money doing that, especially like Harley stuff. They love American culture over there.
Yeah. Right now, I'd say probably 30% of my sales are global shipping. It's nuts. That Tandy that I showed you earlier for $99, that's going global shipping.
Nice. I think a lot of people are scared of the global shipping program.
Ryan Adams DVD that I posted on Instagram yesterday that sold for $85 is going.
Dude, I saw that.
Shipping.
That was nuts.
It's going global shipping.
Crazy. You paid $1 for it, right?
At Goodwill, yeah.
Good God, so good. That's awesome. That's the thing. Like, if you want to niche down and do one thing, you could still find profit. But if you just anything you can make $1 on, there's literally money everywhere. From the trash, from Facebook Market free, estate sales. I mean, you can walk into a dollar store. WBK goes into dollar stores and just scan stuff, and it's like, oh, now are the margins a lot? You're not going to make $1 million, but if you can buy 30 of them and each one of them you're making $1.50 on, I mean, it adds up quick,
Right.
Again, I have to sneak in my tiny drops into a mighty ocean every time I can. But replenishables, that's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's why I haven't niched down. I'm a fan of, I wish I could, but like locally at least, I haven't been able to find enough of a product that would be worth me just niching down to that, short of just stopping everything and trying wholesale only. Like I've been trying to find some wholesale shoes. I found one guy, but it's like I have to take half a pallet of Skechers and Kombu, whatever, to be able to get the better shoes that are on there. So like,
you said Kombu, dude. I see those every day in the thrift. The fact that you threw that brand out is amazing.
Yeah, and the fact that they want $25 a pair for those, I'm like, it's not going to happen. And I was like,
your shoe prices are just...
the other half of the pallet is Sorel boots, and then there was a pallet alone of oh Lord, I'm going to forget what it is. Some other one. They don't have a ton of sales, but they sell for like $90 a piece.
Yeah.
And so it was like, but no Nikes or anything. It was Adidas, Skechers, Kombu, Fila, Puma, and I'm like, it's just there's not enough margin in there to buy it that way. So that's why I do a little bit of everything. So like when you see my wet solds or whatever, it's spread across a ton of different stuff. Like I've got some monster sales going out tomorrow, but it's anywhere from like $10 to $500 on those sales. So.
Well, I mean, I think it helps. It helps, keep you don't have, like, if you're only selling $500 stuff, you're not going to have as many sales, and it's going to take you longer to find a product. So you have a good, nice little mix there. But also you're like what solds or your packing lives are kind of just like bolo videos. That's how I look at it. Anytime someone's doing a what sold, they're not really trying to show you what it sold for. They're showing you what to look for. Yeah, you just have to look at it a little differently. But
that's in my description of my videos. When I do those, it says down there, use this as a free bolo list.
Yeah, that's really what they are.
There's no bragging. It's not, hey, I sold $1,000 today. It's nice, but it's, hey, this is what these sell for. If you didn't know these were awesome, like Marcus just put in the chat there, that he saw the Grecian hair on, I don't think he said it in here, but I know he saw that on Flippy McFlipperson's channel. So then he saw it and bought it, and now he just sold that for $130, I think he said.
Yeah,
$130. So he never would have bought that if he hadn't watched that Flippy.
For sure. It was the thrift store that he went to after we separated. He sent me a picture, and I was like, of course, so awesome. because and then he had the car issue. So it's like, okay, well, at least I know he found stuff here that'll cover the expense for having to get his car fixed. Because Houston streets will just destroy your car.
Oh man. So we'll just talk about this real quick. I'm take over for a second. Marcus, that video when your car died and you were walking through the street, everybody ever see that?
In the neighborhood?
Destroyed. Like, oh, I hate my life.
Yeah.
People are watching my videos. My freaking gas tank exploded. Like, I'm stuck in Houston. Oh, it was just, no offense. That was the best because I was just like, okay, you got it. Now where do you go from here? And like right after that, his channel started taking off a lot better. But it was crazy on that video.
I think that once you can tap into real like emotion and people can be like, oh shit, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. People are more likely to subscribe, follow. I think Drew, I call him the Eeyore of reselling, but Profit Monsters, he does that a lot. He shows the good and bad. Because there's everybody wants to show the good, but I also know how I am mentally, and I know that if I just go down the negative path, nobody wants to watch those videos because I'm just going to start breaking stuff and throwing shoes and stuff. So I try to just like, okay, this sucks. How am I going to fix it and move the hell on?
Yeah.
But yeah, that video, I remember watching that and I'm like, damn, man, we had such a great time like a few hours ago at the thrift and like hanging out in Houston. Like we ate, we chatted it up. And then I'm watching this and I'm like, damn, man, that sucks.
Yeah, like I said, he was defeated. But again, it showed a lot of emotion. It showed like the real him.
Yeah.
And that video got a ton of freaking comments. And it was like I said, he blew up from there. He's still growing, but he blew up from there. So. Oh,
my investors. No, it's pest control. I just ignore that shit now.
I'm excited for you, man. You got, what do you got, 2-3 months here?
Yeah, to December 17th, man. And unless I pull the plug sooner, because it's just like I said, anytime that phone rings, I look at it, I'm like, bleh. Oh, yeah. Also, I sold something. I love selling stuff when I'm on a live. Sold a Gorillas hoodie, the music group. Yeah, see, not shoes, guys. I sold something, not shoes. Anytime it's music related, I usually pick it up, especially at the bins. It's like I'm pretty sure Stacy found that one too. She knows to look for music related T-shirts and stuff.
I was just checking my phone to see if I sold anything because I figured it must be broken if it didn't notify me. But
I'm sure you sold tons of stuff.
Nothing.
There you go. You made a ton of money. That makes me feel better because now I was getting all sad on the inside right now thinking about that video, and I'm like, damn, dude, it really did affect me too. Oh man. So man, Dante's got like 9 YouTube channels now, 15 Amazons, 187 eBay stores. He's got money.
I promised him the first $1 when I do get monetized. I said I will send you that $1.
Nice. You should sign it and frame it.
He's got to help me get that $1.
That's my new thing right now. Is if I purchase something or a reseller sends me some merch and they have like a signed card, I'm going to throw it up for auction and just donate the money. I think our Harry Tornado, Flip the World, Purple Rube, thank you card just ended. I want to say it was like $90 going to the charity that he chose. It's going to Jiggly Thrift. I don't know if he's going to make a special announcement, but I just ruined your surprise.
I was wondering. I kept watching and I'm like,
yeah.
I think I'm going to wait for the next one. Let's let it get a few more on there. Because to be honest, if I bought it right now, I don't have a big enough following to get people excited about it. So,
well, Jiggly's going to
have a few people get excited about it first.
Yeah, I like seeing. So I like the idea because I don't know what charity Jiggly's gonna pick, and also his TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but he just hit 1 million. One of his videos just hit 1 million. So his TikTok growing is crazy to where if he signs it, it should bring up some value.
Oh yeah, it's gonna bring all kinds of different people that aren't on the YouTube side of it.
For sure. I just want to get as many signatures and just keep it going and just keep picking different charities. And then eventually it would be hilarious if somehow Harry won it back with 100 signatures or whatever.
Oh, that's funny. He's totally going to do that.
Yeah. And then it'll be in the background of his frame. And then every video he does, I'll just comment and I'll be like, I started that.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah. It's all just so at the end, I can be like, I started that.
Yeah.
Just like I have my framed feature in the Houston Chronicle here, and then I got the Business Insider one up off camera. It's like I love looking at myself sometimes and be like, hey, that's an irrelevant article that 15 people read, but hey, that's me.
I've got Static X, the original.
Yeah, I know. Every time I see that in
here.
a video, I'm like, dude, you could be making some money off of that, especially since he's dead.
Yeah. So there's a crazy one on that one. So the local radio station has red shirts. You had to buy these red shirts, and if you went to the concerts and you were wearing these red shirts, you could potentially get like prizes or upgraded seats or that kind of stuff. And so I just stood right next to them until they finally did the backstage passes at the Static X concert, and they were like, "You guys want to go see Static? Like, go meet them?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" So they brought us into the back and they lined us up. It was super weird how they did it, but basically there was like an assembly line of the 10, 15 people that were allowed to go meet the band, and so they come in the room and they start walking down and they're doing autographs and all that. And crazy Wayne Static, if you guys have never met him, like I have, right? Anyways, he's like this tall.
Yeah.
Maybe this tall. His hair's like this tall, but he's like this tall. It was really crazy. And I was like, it was super surprising when I met him. And he asked a lady who was right next to me, it was a girl. And he goes, "Oh, did you just get that hoodie?" Because she had a brand new Static X hoodie on. And she's like, "Yeah, it was freaking $60 out there." And then he goes, "I told you guys $30. That's the max you can charge. I want her to get all her money back." And he's like, it was like this big freaking deal. And I was like, "Oh, this guy is freaking awesome."
Yeah.
And so anyways, I got a bunch of autographs and it was just like a cool story for that thing. So anyways,
it's so we didn't have it too much because we played a lot of dive bars, but we've played venues like Warehouse Live and stuff like that where they make you raise the price on your merch because they get a cut. And
gotcha.
So what other bands would do when they'd come to Houston and then like the venue would be like, "Hey, there's a 10% increase on your merch because we get that 10%, is they would be like, "Oh, we don't have merch," because they don't want, to raise the prices, and then they would just sell them out of the van.
Yeah.
But you had to like go and ask because venues will come up with ways like, "Hey, we're not going to take anything off the door because that's your guarantee, but you have to sell your shirts for $35 now instead of $20," and that hurts the fan base. So it's always been a thing, but now with the whole music industry being like, "Hey, well, you guys haven't done anything in a year and a half," I think hopefully when things and again, as we don't know what's going to happen now with all these new variants and 15 doses now and all this other stuff.
Right.
I just miss music. I like music. I listen to it still. I've been buying a lot more records and Spotify and stuff like that now, since that's kind of and merch, the only way you can support. But
yeah, I miss shows like crazy. I saw Slayer live. I've seen Pantera live. I've seen Metallica live.
Yep.
6 Feet Under, Morbid Angel.
Every time I hear 6 Feet Under, I chuckle because we played a festival with them in Atlanta, and there was like 4,500 people there, and Chris Barnes refused to come out of the van or out of their tour bus and perform because he had agreed to 5,000 people. So because there was 500 less, he was refusing. 6 Feet Under was not going to play.
Wow.
So our drummer was drunk and went and tried to slash the tires on their tour bus with just a pocket knife. And those are pressurized. So when he hit that first one, it like shot him back. But yeah, it was crazy. They didn't play. And they the promoter like had to pay him their full guarantee, and they didn't play. They literally got their check and then just drove off.
That sucks.
But yeah, I was like, dude, really? Like, we had a blast. I don't
Yeah.
For other resellers, we donate so much that other resellers could use or specialize. There would go great. Should cost. It'd be good to have a BOLO list from other resellers.
So make a list and donate it. I assume that's what you're saying.
Oh, like create one. Like for shoes, I try to just post like, "Hey, this is a BOLO." Like, I think it depends on your niche. Like if you do it by category, we could. It would be easy, but I do know there are some resellers in the community that sell BOLO lists.
So let me give you my opinion on that. if you are willing to pay for a bolo list, you are looking for a shortcut that is going to hurt you. Because if you're in the thrift store and you pull out your bolo list on your phone and you're scrolling through it and you say, should I buy this pair of shoes? And you scroll for 5 minutes on that bolo list to look for it of should I sell it? You're wasting time. Just watch the YouTube videos or look it up on eBay. You're going to get way more value out of that. Personal opinion. But the fact of like, somebody else I heard talking about that the other day, and they were like, look, when are you going to pull your bolo list out and look at it? So if you're not going to pull it out and look at it, then why would you pay for it?
I've gotten away from it now that we've niched down, but Stacy still does it. When we go into a thrift, the way it works is I get a cart and it's going to be shoes, and she gets a cart and it's going to be like, I usually go to the men's section. She'll go to the women's section. She'll get shoes, but then she also does the whole scan everything. So she'll pull plush, she'll pull electronics, things like that. I'm laser focused, but she'll get stuff, and then we literally just scan everything. That's the way it works. Look everything up, scan everything. You'll eventually build this database in your brain of, like you said, the brand that no one ever talks about that is everywhere.
And so the best bolo list is the one in your head that you remember. That don't look at that one, right? That's better than any bolo list you could look at. Is don't bother looking at that one. Don't bother looking at that one. Don't bother looking at that one. So you can just speed your time up. And it comes from experience. So
we got a celebrity. I got to take on. What's going on, T.O.? Also, T.O. helps me a lot with investing. We chat a lot. He's in an amazing hardcore band, Death Threat. Crazy to see you in my live. We're talking about making money. So, and actually we're over the hour. I'm surprised a dog hasn't come in here to let me know. But
I thought you usually it's like a pumpkin. You turn into a pumpkin or whatever after an hour.
Well, since I have another live in 5 hours, it sucks. I'm probably going to do it in the car. I'm just going to full disclosure, guys. I'm going to probably be in the car for the live because 6 o'clock is when we pick the kids up. So I'll probably just let them all be crazy in the house, and I'll just stay in the car. But you'll still get great content, maybe some AC. But it sucks people are coming in as I'm trying to wrap up. But go ahead and yeah, Stacy is a beast. You got to see it firsthand at the bins and at the thrift. Final thoughts. What you want to say? Sell yourself. I always give the guests the last few minutes.
Well, hey guys, come check out my channel if you like making money. That's what my videos are about. Follow me on Instagram at Dana Invests. Dana Invests on YouTube. I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday wet sold videos. I've started doing live wet sold packing videos, so you get to see some packing tips and just general conversation on those. I have sourcing videos. I'm available if you have questions. DM me on Instagram, and that's it. I'm been reselling forever, basically full time since January, and I'm just happy to be here. I was, it'll sound silly, but man, I was like a fanboy back when Chris first hit me up because I had been watching his videos for a while, and I'm like, oh man, like this guy knows who I am. And now it's like, I'm trying to be that guy. So, anyways, I'm just happy to be here, having fun, and that's me, and that's what I do.
Well, man, you're I think you're underrated as far as where you are on YouTube. Your 90-day stacks up against most full-time, if not higher than most full-time resellers, except for the monster that is Shout Out Tim. And I only bring him up because apparently if you say Shout Out Tim, YouTube listens to you and it will promote your lives. But guys, almost 35K in 90 days. He knows what he's talking about, and he sells all categories. If he can make a buck, he's picking it up. So he is not niche down. So great person to follow and make sure. And the main thing that I look for when I follow other resellers is if I have a question and I DM you on Instagram, you actually respond. So that's huge with me. That's why most of my inner circle of resellers are people that I directly can connect with, because I think that's a big part of actually being part of the community is actually communicating.
Yeah, it was a big part of why I started my channel and all that was to help other people, because I'm like, there's so many people you would see that just have all the excuses and why it's so hard and why I can't do it. And I called somebody out on it earlier today. They were saying, I can't buy this hot item at the store because I don't have a truck to get it home. And I was like, well, they'll deliver it, or you can rent a truck for like $20. Like, you're giving me excuses. Give me a solution. If you're going to make excuses, you're not going to make it in this game. You've got to find the solution. And so, like, that's what I try and do with a lot of it, is just share knowledge and help other people get there. Because
for sure. And I'm literally wearing a cold as life shirt with like a prenatal baby on it. But as negative as I am, I've learned that gratitude and trying to help other people will get you way more in return, especially in the reselling community. Greg, do you really want me to post the videos that you've sent me? I will. Don't tell lies. I respond to everybody's DMs all the time. And if I don't, Stacy also is part of Flip the World. So she does it as well. So if it ever comes off as, man, I don't think Chris said that, that's probably Stacy in the DMs. Where there's a will, there's a way. But yeah, see, he got real quiet real quick. Yeah.
She's responded to me a few times, and then she'll go back and she'll be like, this was Stacy, by the way.
Yeah, I told her for certain things, hey, because she talks to a few army people too as well. I'm like, hey, make sure you let them know that that's you, because that doesn't sound like how I talk. So I got a reputation.
It was very cordial. It was nice.
Yeah. Punctuation was on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no
Stacy.
Emojis.
If there's any manners or anything, it's Stacy. But man, I appreciate you being on the show. Like I said, we'll be on again later tonight on Eric's channel. Make sure you guys tune in. It's 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 Eastern.
Okay, so that's probably what, like 4 in the afternoon your time? 5?
4 o'clock. Yeah.
4. Jesus. All right. Well, thank you.
My whole day. Thursdays are normally my sourcing day, so I'm like, this jacked me all up, but I'm happy for it, because, like I said, I just this was fun. I
think this evening is going to be great, because it's like 4 resellers in 4 different areas of life in the reselling game.
Right.
So I think it's going to be great. You got Marcus, who's trying to go full time. You got me, who's already accepted that I'm going full time. You got Eric, who should already be full time, and then you are just like at the top of the mountain. You're the next shout out Tim. It's going to be shout out Dana.
I wish. Well, I'm trying to live up to that.
You got it, man. Well, thanks for having us. Thanks for everybody that stayed in the chat. If you're watching on the replay again, make sure you hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, help the old algorithm for us, so we can get this out to more people, and we can continue to be the #1 daytime reselling live show. See ya.